Welcome to Northwest Aerospace News Live. I am Jennifer Ferrero, a writer for the magazine and your host. Thank you to our sponsor, Aerospace Vendors. Today we are talking with Russ Nielsen of Aero Plastics. They make manufactured plastic components you can count on, and they operate with the theme of driven by dependability. Let's welcome today's guest, Russ. Welcome.
Hey, good morning, Jennifer. Thanks for having me.
Good morning. Thank you for coming on the show. Well, let's start with your theme, driven by dependability. What does that mean to the company and its customers?
Well, that's a great question. It started with back in 2013, we were nominated and won Boeing Supplier of the Year. And one of the questions that they asked us is, what makes you different from your competitors? Our competitors have a lot of the same capabilities we have, but we really gave it some thought and said, dependability is what sets us apart. We have a tool called a Dependometer that we use to monitor our performance, both internally and externally. If you think about it, in our personal lives, the businesses that we like to do, to give our business to, we like to do that are dependable. And so we feel the same way with in our manufacturing businesses, that customers are going to want to do business with somebody that's dependable and know that they're going to get their product on time.
What are the parts that you make for commercial aerospace, and are all the parts in assemblies?
So API specializes in non-metallic machined, injection molded, and thermoformed components. We're a build-to-print company, and we primarily, most of our components, some of our components are interior, some are in small assembly, and then we also do some for exterior parts of the airplanes.
Okay. So why plastic versus metal or other materials for making aerospace components?
Another good question. So a few years ago, we used to be Aeroplastics and metal, and it was kind of it was a confusing thing to our customers. Like, are you do you machine plastic or do you machine aluminum? And we said both. And a few years ago, Mike Brown, our CEO, and I made the decision to just solely focus on what we say is non-metallic. There are materials out there that aren't technically plastic. And so we focus on non-metallic components, materials such as Torlon, G10, phenolic, and others that fit what we do. Our machines can machine aluminum, but there's just a different type of thought process and programming and fixturing and all that stuff that goes along with machining non-metallic components. And we like to say we machine non-metallic because we want to, not because we have to. If that makes sense.
So Russ,
yeah.
I noticed that you are sitting in front of, is that a new paint booth that you have behind you?
Yeah, I don't know if you guys can see it, but yeah. So part of our company's vertical integration and risk management over the last 18 months is to bring some of the things that we currently outsource in-house, just to control, to help control cost, to help control, any risk out there in the industry. As most people know, vertical integration is really key to mitigating risk in the supply chain. So yeah, behind me is our brand new paint booth. It's not technically up and running yet. We're getting there. We're doing some testing, but we're really excited to have it. It's going to be a great tool for our company for years to come.
Great. Now, Russ, how large is your facility there? I don't know. Are you on a campus? Do you have multiple buildings, or is it one large building?
We're in two buildings. This is our new building. In this building, we have paint behind me. To the right of me, we have thermal forming. And to the left of me, we have some open space for some new equipment coming down the path soon in Q1. We'll be sharing that on our LinkedIn page here soon. But we have two buildings. 903, we call 903 as our primary building. We've been in for 20 some years. That's 25,000 square feet. And then this new building that we have is 18,000 square feet. And it's just about a block down the street. We are in Renton, probably a quarter mile from the Renton plant, Boeing Renton plant.
Mm-hmm. Well, it sounds like you're an expanding company, so that's really good to hear. So what is the best way for components manufacturers like AEROSPACE to engage in the community, like through trade groups and that type of thing?
Yeah, so our CEO, Mike Brown, who's owned the company for about 5 years, has been a general manager for 10 years prior to that. He sits on the AFA board and supports that group. I joined the PNAA, Pacific Northwest Aerospace Alliance board about a year. I think I'm a year into it. Our ops manager sits on the board of Renton Votech. So that, the trade school, local trade school. And then we try and reach out and give time to other organizations. An example of that is in January, one of the local high schools has a trades night. And so we're going to have a booth there, and it's for all of the high school kids to learn about trades and stuff. And so we're going to have a booth there and try and teach them about trades and get them excited.
Would you say that doing those types of things like Trades Night is helping with workforce development and bringing on the newest employees to AeroPlastics?
I would hope so, right? It's funny, we did it last year with PNAA. I supported the group, and the kids there, it was funny because a lot of the kids there, their parents already worked at Boeing or different machine shops or different industries, and they weren't all manufacturing. But so I think the kids get excited about it. The key is, from our perspective, is to get them excited about, the technology that comes along with manufacturing nowadays. And so, if you can hook them into that type of stuff and make it exciting, then I think it works. So it's exciting. There was probably 400 students there last year. It was pretty exciting, and it was refreshing to see them interested in trades.
Great. Now, are you guys entering the space race?
A little. We're dipping our toe in the water, I like to say. So we obviously know there's a lot of space companies in the area, and we are doing a little bit of business with them. It's something that we want to try and expand upon, but yeah, I would just say for now we're dipping our toe in the water.
Great. Well, is there anything else that's new on the horizon for AeroPlastics?
There's a lot on the horizon. Behind me, obviously, the paint booth. Over in 903, we're bringing on some new equipment, again, to really support, redundancy in our current equipment, and add some capacity. We're bringing on some larger equipment in a couple different areas. And over here in 833, we're bringing on some new equipment that'll help with vertical integration as well. We're pretty excited about that. I think it's really going to put our company, into, as far as the amount of work that we can do internal and not have to outsource. I think it's really going to put our company up there with the best of them as far as capabilities is concerned. Everything should be online probably Q1 of 2024.
Well, I know, and it's kind of hard to think about Q1 of 24 already, but I know that we need to start doing that now. Well, is there anything else that you'd like to add, Russ?
No, I just really appreciate the opportunity. It's great to have the opportunity to I guess show off the company a little bit, right? Tell your followers a little bit about AeroPlastics. Really, this is all about our team, and our company and our mantra driven by dependability. It's something that we live and die by, right? It's what makes us who we are, and that, along with our new capabilities, I think is really going to be a great opportunity to leverage for our current and hopefully future customers.
Hmm. Absolutely. And I'll just mention that, about a year, maybe 2 years ago, we did an article together for Northwest Aerospace News, and we talked a lot about the dependometer and driven by dependability in that article. So I would encourage people to learn more by going to northwestaerospacenews.com. And with that, Russ, I'd just like to thank you so much for coming on today's show.
I really appreciate the opportunity. It's great to see you, and thanks for having me.
Great. Thank you. Well, if you're interested in learning more about Russ's business, visit aero-plastics.com. And thank you again to our sponsor, Aerospace Vendors. Until next time, keep engaging with the aerospace manufacturing news you need to know in the Northwest with Northwest Aerospace News Magazine. Goodbye.